welcome back to the Agony Booth, where we are going into the forgotten or the filler episodes of Star Trek, but looking at them ever so brightly with a whole new perspective and, rose-colored eyes. I'm Joe Dove, the
I think that's just pink eye, Joe.
yeah, it possibly is. I'm Joe Dove. You just know. And with me, as always, my co-host Jason Roy Gaston. But we are very excited to have our guest from Trektivism Pod, Matthew. How are you, Matthew?
Hello, I'm well. Thanks for having me on board in the booth.
Booth. We're chilling. We're here, being in agony together. Let's go say hello to Katala Barrett. Hello, good to see you. And Leticia. Hello. And of course, my figure universe. Where am I, Joe? I don't know where I am. It's been a while since I figured out.
It doesn't say where you are. That says who are you?
Who are you? Who are you?
Oh yeah, fine bubbles.
Okay, you need to check your prescription.
No, I just got these, but I have to remember.
Then you need to take them back.
All right.
Wrong here.
So first, I want to say thank you to our patrons: Holly Mac 79, Johannes Borg, Denise Hill, Joe Separito, and Sarah. So thank you all for being patrons. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Note to self: don't get in the car with Joe. No, you're fine. Just tell me to look up when I'm driving and I have to read something. That's all.
When he says looks up, he means like over the steering wheel like this.
I am not a tall man, so yeah.
He's tiny. He's wee.
I'm a wee man.
He's like a little baby.
I just fit in my pocket. If you want to become a patron, please join the many that have. We have a QR code that I'll be putting here. And again, when we have, we're moving into the world of the future. And I'll be putting this back up later on after some people told me that doesn't look that great when it's there too long. So if you scan that and the QR code, you can become a wonderful patron. You get access to myself and Jason Roy Gaston with a very personal thank you. You also get a very hello and special stickers. You also get a choice to put your own episode on the Wheel of Agony. Ooh. And not only that, your social media handle will be on top of your episode. So you'll be in all the lights. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you go and check out the Patreon. All right. Well, we have an episode to get into, and that is Star Trek Discovery Season 3. Yeah, it's a great episode. Sanctuary. So we're going to start off with the synopsis. Jason Roy Gaston, if you please.
The USS Discovery crew travel to Book's home planet to rescue it from Osyraa, the formidable leader of the Emerald Chain. Stamets and Adira continue their search for valuable information on the origin of the burn. And I'm sure it won't be disappointing in the least little bit.
All right, well, let's hop into.
We ought to add that screen to the Agony Booth opening, just and have all the ships blowing up.
We should
be
do that.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'll talk to Jason. Still gets me.
Low hangers. We go after the low hangers.
We do right there. We do all the time. All right. Well, I'm going to start off with Jason because you've returned from your away mission, so you can get right into in the South Carolinas. Thank you for saving them because you were able to just put your arms up and break the two hurricanes that were.
I stood on the shore just going.
Yeah, and saved all those people in North.
You're
and South
welcome.
Carolina.
You're welcome, South Carolina. This was certainly an episode that existed. That's it.
Oh no.
I guess I could talk more. So yeah, I don't understand how in a season of so few episodes as the streaming era has given us that we have a filler episode like this. If we have a story, an arc-driven season with this mystery of the burn, why it feels like we are basically wasting an entire episode on Book's home planet, saving it from Osyraa in the Emerald Chain, and absolutely positively nothing is different at the end, except, you know, Ren trusts the Federation, and we know Adira's pronouns, which, you know, that is important, but that was like the one major thing there. Oh yeah, and Detmer doesn't have PTSD anymore because she managed to cure it in one episode.
Hey man,
That
sometimes
no,
you just need that time.
no, that was not okay. I'm
Doesn't work
sorry,
like that?
that was not okay.
Mm.
If she had started a journey or something like that, if Discovery had said, hey, you know what? This side character we've been ignoring for 3 years is actually having a traumatic experience that we could explore and see her recovery from. But no, it's like, hey, I'm steering dangerously. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to go back to being background furniture. It was just not okay. To me, it felt skeezy. It felt like they just thought, oh, Detmer's getting too much attention now. We have to get rid of this subplot. And honestly, I just thought the entire thing was boring.
Wasn't this the introduction of Gray?
Really, and I'm gonna say, I no, it was not the introduction of Gray.
Oh.
We'd seen him before.
Oh, okay.
I just thought the entire episode was just dull. That was it. And I would rather watch an episode that is bad than an episode that's dull. And that's it. The Sanctuary was just dull, and it went nowhere. It did nothing. And as I said, it's an episode that exists.
Ouch. All right, Matthew.
Okay. I felt there was almost too much going on in this episode. Now, keep in mind, I'm coming back into this from, I haven't watched this season or rewatched this season of Discovery, so I had to do a little bit of catch up. But I thought that a lot of the character little points that happened, each and of themselves, were really interesting. But it's like there was so much of it all stuffed together, and then we didn't really linger on anything. So, like some of the episode components, like going back to Book's planet, reconciling with his cousin there on the planet, bringing Michael, I was like, that could have been one entire episode in and of itself, where we could have actually like spent some more time in there. And I felt like instead they used that conversation just as exposition between the two. And then at the end of the episode, it was fine. It was like, oh, you sold out to the space mafia. And now we're fine though at the end of the episode. I thought we could have like lingered on that a little bit more, or with Adira kind of like revealing their pronouns, like that could have been like more fleshed out in an episode as well. And so it just felt like they were trying to do a lot all at one time, kind of like thread things together and just kind of move on from them. The one thing that I did like about the ending though was that I thought it was important that they did show that in a way they liberate Quayshawn from the Emerald Chain by helping its ecological problems, because that is very Federation. And so rather than it just being a military intervention where they blow up the Emerald Chain vessel, they're showing that they're also weakening the Emerald Chain's hold on a planet by helping it to no longer be vulnerable because of its impoverishment, I'm guessing because of the water locusts taking over the planet. So I was like, I think that was important. So that was a good point they made at the end, because they're showing this is how the Federation is going to start making a difference again in the galaxy by helping to like alleviate stresses that would otherwise be taken advantage of by, you know, a nefarious entity like the Emerald Chain. So I appreciated that part. So I just wish that they had slowed things down a little bit, but maybe because I'm getting old and I'm used to watching older Star Trek that goes at a slower pace. Whereas when it came to Discovery, a lot of the times I was like, slow down. Don't be so loud. You know?
Turn it down.
Turn it down.
Yeah.
Look on the bright side. At least Quayshawn is going to have years and years and years of prosperity after this episode, and everything on that planet is going to be fine.
Also, that house they have there is awesome. I was like, I want that view of the forest there and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they filmed that somewhere in Ontario, because I'm pretty sure that
thing is like tumbling end over end in space somewhere in the 32nd century right now.
No, I definitely think there was just, we don't have that type of forest here in America anymore, and if we do, there's a Burger King in the middle of it. So for sure that's in Canada or Norway or something like that. For me, I was on the fence. I was like, I don't really remember this. What I mostly remember from the burn was the return to the Guardian of the Door Forever. And I was like, is this the one where that happens? I can't wait. And then it didn't happen. It's like, oh, this wasn't that one. Oh, so there was that. I had this like built up expectation, and then something that never happened. But
where the Guardian's like a person. He has like
yeah, it's like a dude that's reading the book. Yeah, and he has the fedora, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up? I'm the guardian of the door forever." And
I think like the Guardian would have, the Guardian would have access to like all of human, or basically anywhere in the galaxy or universe's like style of dress, and that's the one he's like, I'm going with this actually.
Yeah, it's like I really like the
he looks stylish to me.
Yeah,
I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was a dapper man. He was definitely dapper. Yeah. The thing that bothered me most was the very overacting by Book's brother, right?
Is it cousin? He calls him brother, but I think they're cousins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not blood related at all.
Oh, is that what it is?
Family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
family,
okay.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like you, Jason. You're my found family. You're stuck with me.
Oh crap.
Yeah, it was a lot of expositional dialogue. That was one of the places where I felt like the actor was trying to do what they could with like the limited amount of screen time they had, where most of it is like them funny. By the way, they have those cool rifles that look like wood.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
That was
really neat.
Yeah, I was like, that was neat. It kind of blended into the aesthetic of the planets, or the more natural woody. But yeah, I felt like they, and it's sort of like they're rapidly then reconciled by the end together. And I was like, I felt like that should have been a whole episode. That could have given them more screen time, and they wouldn't have just been used to have like an expositional conversation. They could have actually gotten more into like the hurt in Book leaving and how that made him feel, and get into that more. And that would have been, I thought that would have been interesting and cool.
Yeah. I also appreciated the little like lantern flies that they had.
Yeah, they're sea locusts.
They came from the sea and they just decided to stay on the land. This is us now.
And then they turned Discovery into a bug zapper, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't just Discovery. It was like I felt like it was Care Bear ending. We just had to believe, and like they used their little stuff and everything. Just went,
Care Bear stare. Yeah,
they did the Care Bear stare. Yeah, that's what it was. That's how it ended.
Care Bear stare is a very Star Trek vibe.
Yeah. That's why I probably love Star Trek.
Actually, speaking of which, there is an Enterprise referenced ship in Care Bears. They have it.
They spent the entire third season doing a Star Trek parody. Yes, it was amazing.
Right? Yeah. I remember that now.
I don't remember this. You have to...
Yeah, they knew they were not getting a fourth season, and so they're like, you know what? Forget it. The entire third season is going to be a big Star Trek parody. Yeah. So they send the Care Bears and the Care Bear cousins out into space on board the USS Care-a-Lot or something. I don't know. It's amazing that I know this much about Care Bears.
Well, that's why you're my co-host, because you know that much about all things. So you kind of fill me in where I have many gaps in my brain.
Going, I can't learn algebra or
it's okay, me
language, either. But by God, I know about the Care Bears.
Yep, and Star Trek. What else do you need?
Yeah, I mean that's all the brain has. That's
right, and he's single too, ladies.
What was the other thing? So I also really, really, really appreciated Margaret Kidder's niece. I think her name's Janice. I want to say. Who played Osyraa?
Janet.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, Janet Kidder. I met her at Trek Long Island. I was like, wow, she's very pretty. And then I was like, who is this? I know her from somewhere. And then I looked down at the table. She's sitting next to Elias Tufexis. And I looked down. I was like, oh, you're from the because I was just like, remember when she first came on? I was like, ooh, very nice lady. I would like to be her friend. Hello. But
I kind of wanted to see her sing "Defying Gravity" at one point in this episode.
It did have a Wicked Witch of the West vibe.
Can I just say one thing? And I'm sorry to interrupt, because if I don't say it, this is going to abandon my brain.
Mm-hmm.
What is with the Orion makeup this season, especially with the guys? They almost look like Jim Carrey's The Mask, because they have so many prosthetics on their face, and it makes them look like mannequins. I don't get it. Why did they do that? It was not an improvement. It actually looked terrible. Now, Janet Kidder had some of the effect on her, but not a whole lot. She just looked like she had like Botox.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet Kidder does not look like that at all. I just don't get the purposeful downgrade of the Orions. It's like, paint them green. That's all you gotta do.
I think it was one of those things where it's like, wow, we have an FX team. Maybe we can like update the Orions and make them a little bit more. But I think it kind of like misfired.
Yeah, okay.
I was happy.
They updated the Orions in Enterprise, and it looked awesome.
I
mean, the women's were still green, but like the guys had like these bolts in their heads.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
It was cool.
Why did we have to make them look like mannequins? I don't get it.
Yeah,
It's
that
such a
wrestler.
weird thing.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Big
Big
Show.
Show.
Big Show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
picked up
yeah.
Homegirl and was like,
Yeah, that
That-
dude is enormous.
They
yeah,
were making
he's
fun of
7'3". He's
That's
big
crazy.
dude.
there is a rumor that they were making fun of Rick Berman with that scene. Because Big Show was supposed to have represented Rick Berman, and he picks up to Paul and he's going like this, just showing her off.
Ooh,
And so that was the
interesting.
joke, was that Big Show's character was Rick Berman.
His name's
Oh.
Paul White. Just as a reference there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought she had a great presence as a villain for this story arc. I thought she was really good, actually. I was like,
I
oh,
agree.
this is
Janet
nice.
Kidder was fantastic this season.
She was just heartless, but she like kind of had like a plan, and she kind of had like a MO that made sense, because like the Federation, they've been doing jack all this whole time. So I just filled in the void, and people got to pay what they owe. So these guys owe, now they got to pay. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, they really are like space mafia. That's basically what it is. They're shaking down this planet. They're like, you got to pay your protection fee, whatever. And that's why I thought it was important that they're showing that they can liberate the planet by like helping its issues,
right?
And then they're not vulnerable to this kind of coercion anymore. So, so that was interesting. And I'm showing my lack of memory here. The character that plays the new admiral for the Federation in this season.
Oh, Space Dad.
Admiral Vance. We call
Yeah,
him
he's like
Admiral.
Space Dad. Yeah, Space Dad. He's so wholesome. Same thing. We're gonna make a difference. We're gonna go make a difference with our handful of fragments of dilithium crystal. We're gonna go and change the galaxy.
Yeah, don't use this all at once. Here you go.
Yeah.
The Odette Fair, I absolutely admire him. I got to meet him at the first Trek Long Island, because it was mainly the Discovery's finale. When it happened, and they were amazing. And I just bumped into Doug Jones in the elevator and David Ajala, and I was like, oh my god, hello. And then they were like, hey, what a cute dog. And they like totally bypassed, because I have Teddy, and he's usually dressed in some type of Star Trek costume when we go to conventions, and nobody pays attention to me. So I was like, here's my card, I'm a Star Trek podcaster. And like, yeah, let me pet the dog. And then the stage manager's like, all right, we gotta go, move, you and the cute dog gotta move. It's like, all right, well, there's my moment.
My little small town that I'm from in northwestern Ontario, Thunder Bay, they just had Doug Jones as their guest recently, which for them is a big get, and he was so awesome. He was awesome.
Doug is amazing. He's such a friendly and huggable guy. Did you get a hug?
I did.
See, the Dougie hugs are the best. Yeah. I felt really good about myself after I met him, and I was like, this was worth it. It was a very expensive, because I met him in Vegas. Like, that was worth it. All right, I'm going to keep the show going. We're going to get into why would they do that? Yeah, a lot of fart jokes on this show. Before I get into why we do that, I just want to remind everybody that if you are enjoying the show or watching for the first time, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, ring the bell, and then share the podcast with your friends, your Trekkie friends, and maybe your Star Wars friends to annoy them. We'd really appreciate that, and it goes a long way if those little things happen, because it helps the channel grow. We just hit 5,000 subscribers. Woo!
Nice.
I don't have any confetti, but I have question marks. Woohoo! Why are you here? No. But thank you so much.
Here?
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for doing that. And if you really enjoy the show even more than that, and you want to help us even further, become a Patreon. You can just scan this little QR code there. It'll take you right to our Patreon. And once you become a patron, you get a special thank you from us. You get to choose a episode that goes on the Wheel of Agony, which you'll see shortly. And you get stickers and in our Discord, and plenty of wonderful, wonderful things, including our new show, Wormholes, where you get to select an episode. So lots of fun. And then that's when we get out of Star Trek into other sci-fi. So you're definitely going to want to become a patron today. Okay, Matthew, why did they do it this way? Why did they make this episode like this? Why do we even need Quajan?
Yeah, I think one of the things is that, first of all, they wanted to show, I think they wanted to have that moment at the end between Book and Michael, where Book realizes, like, hey, I want to be a part of this cause. Here's a person that maybe hasn't felt something to believe in for a long time. And I think that's the whole point of the season, is that you have a whole galaxy that doesn't know what to believe in anymore, because the Federation's gone.
Right.
So you have that moment between Book and Michael. And I think they had other stuff that they also, I guess, needed to get done. So there's a lot sort of jammed in there. But I think what they're really trying to do with Quai Jean is get Book to that moment where he's like, I want to be a part of the ship. I want to join in. I see what you're doing now. You were able to help my planet and heal the rift with my family, and I want to be a part of what you're doing. And so I understand what they were trying to get to. And so, yeah, it was a little bit of a roundabout way of getting there and maybe a little forced in some places, but I think that's an important moment for the character. And as we'll see, is going to define the rest of his time in Discovery.
Very true. Very true. Jason Roy Gaston, you're muted.
Okay.
Good job, Grandpa. You got it.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so they basically, in my opinion, created this episode to strictly drop breadcrumbs for the story arc, and quite inefficiently, I thought. And I think that's my major problem with this episode, is that it is just, here's a crumb, there's a crumb, here's a crumb, there's a crumb, and it could have been done so much better, I believe. I just didn't give a tinker's cuss about any of the Quai Jean stuff. It was, I don't think that I personally cared about Book enough at that point. I cared more about Grudge, and in a way I still do, because she's a queen.
The cat?
Oh, absolutely. She's a queen. Tell me you did not think that there was going to be something special about Grudge, like she was going to be like an actual queen at one point, like she was a shapeshifter or something.
Oh, I never thought of that, but I get it. I
could have sworn that's what was going to happen. It was like she was a changeling or something, and she was like the queen of the Great Link or something. I don't know.
Swallowed the Tesseract.
I was just reading too much into it.
She swallowed the Tesseract. I love it.
But yeah, I cared more about. I still care more about Grudge than Book, even though I ended up liking Book. I will say that, but I think by this point I just didn't care. And that's it. They did this because they had to spread seeds that they were going to grow throughout the rest of the season to take us to the exciting resolution of the burn that nobody has a single problem with. I also have to say, at the time I was teaching a 4th grade class.
Okay.
And there was a little boy. I'm not going to say his name, but his name was very, very, very similar to the name of the planet, Quai Jean.
Okay.
And we were just talking, and I was like, "Hey, there's a planet on Star Trek that almost has your name." And he was like, "Really?" And so I played a little clip where they said the name of the planet. He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Did they do anything else with the planet?"
Whoopsie.
Yes, it's actually a major plot point next.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
did you end up watching Discovery at all? Or?
No, they actually that class actually got into Prodigy.
Okay.
Because one of them came in one day, they're like, "Have you seen this show called Star Trek Prodigy?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I like that show. It's so great." And then next thing I know, like 5 of them had watched it, and then 10 of them had watched it. And then they were like, "Where did it go?"
Yeah, we know kids.
Paramount's a moron.
Yeah, we know.
You had the audience, you had Next Generation's audience right there, but you're like, "Nah, we don't want anybody watching this show that's keeping the network afloat."
Yeah. Yeah, we get it. It's terrible. I think they did this besides, as you said, like breadcrumbs to kind of build up what's going on into the whole burn situation. But I feel like they were setting up the relationships that would develop later on between Stamets and Adira and Gray ultimately. I kind of don't like how that ended. I wanted them to be together. That was just me. I was like, yeah, they're gonna be together. Oh, what? It's like they're gonna be together forever. It's gonna be great. And then they were like, nah. I don't know why they do that.
I like how that ended though.
Really?
I like that they ended their relationship in a very mature way.
It was very mature.
There was no screaming, there was no misunderstanding. It was just, our lives are going in 2 different directions, and I love you too much to keep you from where you're going.
Yeah. No.
And I love that. I love that sentiment.
Was it? Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Joe. I was going to say I kind of agree with that too, because like usually that would be like if we watched 90s drama, that would have been drawn out into the whole like fight and everything else. Like I thought it was a much more positive way of demonstrating romance and relationship, and kind of a much more like contemporary and mature way. I agree with Jason on that. Yeah.
I'm just sappy. I just kind of wanted them to be together and everything.
I understand.
But wasn't Adira also a Trill or no?
Adira's human.
Adira's human with a Trill symbiote.
The first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why she sees
one
gray.
That's permanent. The first
they
one
see
is
gray?
permanent.
Yeah,
and that's why they see gray.
Yes.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder. So Gray is now back on Trill without a symbiont. So is he like not Gray anymore? Is he a different person, or does he still have those memories and experiences as part of his whole? Did they also clone the symbiote inside of him?
That's
remember. Do they mention that in any of the episodes?
My Figure Universe, are you still here?
Yeah, where are you?
Jason doesn't know.
Here.
My Figure Universe, are you around? Hopefully he comes back. He's a wealth of vast knowledge when it comes to Trek, so hopefully he and Wes are really good at that. Incredible Trek lore. And Karen McLeod too. And hello, Karen. See you've entered the chat. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that either. I just kind of assumed that she was and Gray is. Okay. I have no memory of the symbiote being cloned as well. But I'm looking it up. All right, we got real time search.
Thank you.
I'll ask the actor. I'll ask Ian on Instagram and see if he responds.
Let's see if they respond at all. So I've asked Ian a lot of questions. He never got back to me.
No, Ian is really interacts with fans a lot. And
really,
he's really cool. So I'll see. I'll drop him a question and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
He'd probably Star what?
Yeah, right. I moved on.
Show?
I'm an actor.
I don't remember. I was on that show for a while and then I wasn't. I don't get it.
One of the things that I did question about this episode was the Care Bear ending, even though as much as it puzzled me and it was like, what? I did like, why would they do that? That was, I mean, if you're an 80s kid, you'd get that. And I think Matthew gets it now. Might not have come up the first time. Yeah, now you see.
You talking about the beam from the ship?
Yeah, the beam from the ship, like the two Quadrans, when their forehead lit up, and their forehead lit up with the beaming of the ship, kind of pushed everything away. So it was like a big Care Bear ending.
Yeah, but it's because their empathic powers were amplified by the ship.
Yeah, so it was the Care Bear. They got Care Bear.
It's literally the power of friendship. That's what Star Trek's all about. I'm into it. That's cool.
How?
Yeah. I thought they were gonna at first the ship beamed it, like it sent that beam down.
It's basically a beam that does whatever they need it to at the moment.
That's like every beam.
We're going to amplify their psychic powers, and I'm just sitting there going, how? When did the ship? They couldn't do this on Next Generation. How is this ship doing it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about having to get quickly to the ending. That's why I think they could have done the Quaishon thing as an entire
bullshit technology activate.
Cool. I science. I'm looking up so I can read this. All right, My Figure Universe has an answer. When the synth body was complete, the Trill Guardian Z performed a typical Zentara. Okay, I'm not gonna know that. Unjoining Ray from the Tau symbiote and transferring him into the new body. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, so Adira doesn't have the symbiote anymore.
Nope. So no symbiont. So
Adira doesn't have completely missed all that then.
To go back and watch the rest of the whole thing. It's a great season. Wow. So we got into all of the tough stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff. All right. There we go. So did a little woo. I had to do some twisting twirlies. Yes. So now that we've changed
the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, my meat is sandwich.
It's like an Oreo. I'm the delicious creamy center, and you guys are the crackers that most people throw away.
No, everybody opens the cracker, puts it back
in. Everyone loves the outside of the Oreos.
Yeah, we're the milk dunkers.
Of course they do.
There's no reason for the middle's existence without the other side. So
can't sell a big thing of cream.
Yeah, I guess you could.
No, why don't they? You could. Okay, hey, Nabisco, spreadable Oreo cream. I just patented the idea. Give me $1 million, you can have it.
That's Dunkaroos. That's what
Dunkaroos.
Yeah.
Stupid Australia. That ever comes from that country.
Oh man. Okay. redeeming features. I'm going to kick it off
All right.
this time because I loved how evil the Orion queen got, because she sacrificed her own nephew and fed him to the big angry worm. I was like, oh, I remember I had forgotten about that. I was like, wow, she put him in like a slug pit because there's all this like stuff and there's like, maybe this is xenomorph. We're going to get into a little alien Earth here. And then also the giant worm came out. I was like, he's probably just going to like slobber him and it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden there was like a leg and I was like, oh, snap. So that
He'll
really
be okay. He's fine.
He'll be okay. They can regrow, right? Orions regrow stuff all the time. So, or maybe have a peg leg and he'll just be like, I'm a true pirate now, you know. But then none of that happened. It was really wild and he got ate and it was brutal and I forgot about it. And it was shocking for me. As a Trekkie, usually, you know, oh no, something bad's happening. And then they pan away. This one was like, nope, you're going to see the whole thing. He's going to be chopped up in little pieces and that's the end of him. I do love the loving relationship between Book and Burnham, and it was really budding in this, and I was here for it. And it's one of the reasons why I like the show until they decided to break them up too. Like, what are you guys doing? Stop breaking everybody up. Everybody's good together. And the growing relationship between Culber and our good Queen Giorgio. I thought that was really cool. Like the way that they played off each other worked really well. That's because these are two fantastic actors, one of the stage, one of the screen. So I think those were the big highlights for me. Jason Roy Gaston.
Well, I'm just going to echo. Anytime we have the amazing Michelle Yeoh on camera is just I would watch that unless it's called Section 31 the movie.
No.
But yes, I think that Giorgio and Culber had some great scenes together. I really enjoy anything that Star Trek does that makes really bad people call it woke. And so whenever I kind of joked about it earlier, but whenever Adira said that they want to be called they instead of she, I thought that was cool because one thing that I really liked with this season was the fact that Adira and Gray and Culber and Stamets all kind of became a family together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that because I love the whole concept of a found family. That family is not exclusively who you are blood related to, but it's the people who come into your life. And I remember back whenever the season was first airing, I called Culber and Stamets dads that didn't have to be. And I think that the dads who don't have to be and the moms who don't have to be are some of the best people in the world. So I just thought that all those scenes it just melted my heart. And other than that, the episode was garbage.
Damn. All right, Matthew.
Not sorry.
Yeah, no, I'll riff off Jason there. Like I really love the comment you made about found family. I mean, that's what Star Trek was for me as a young person. It showed that was a thing. It introduced the whole concept of found family for me. You know, and as someone, I often struggled to feel fit in with my own family. So I loved seeing that. It gave me permission to do so. And so I think seeing that play out between, you know, Adira and Stamets and Culber in this episode, like it really shows just what found family could be like. And also Blue Del Barrio is the first openly non-binary actor in Star Trek. So it's cool that they allowed them to have the use of they, them pronouns in the show as well, because it mirrors like their real lives, which is really cool. Yeah, I will say I actually liked the joystick flight scene because I was like,
oh, that was dope. I forgot about
all the spaceships should have joysticks when they fly them around.
Totally.
You know, it reminded me of Insurrection, you know, when it like comes out of the floor and he's like Riker's flying it around. I'm like, they should have more hands-on manual flying sequences.
Just in case.
Like. Yeah, why not? This is cool. I love the ending with Book and Michael and you know, Book's comments as well, where he was like, I really enjoyed you coming to see my home. I was like, it's very touching, you know, and so that's why I wish they had spent more time there. And also, I'm just gonna say, like, because I've been mainly watching old Star Trek lately these days, it's nice to come back to discover it because I hadn't seen it in a while. But it's just a good reminder between that and also Strange New Worlds, how beautiful the show is. Like the external scenes and like the planetary shields when Quayshawn's defending against orbital attack and everything. Like it's very like the show is just very pretty. So something overall just wanted to say.
Yeah, no, wholeheartedly agree. I think is that the infamous QR wall or something like that?
Oh,
the AR wall. Is that,
AR
some
wall.
Of it might be. Some of it might be AR
I don't know
wall.
if they had
sure.
access to the AR wall in the 3rd season. I don't think
It looked really good. I know Strange New Worlds has been using it, so for sure. I know the whole Melissa Navia was AR wall. And I think really good.
Yeah, I think Quayshawn might have also like actually been real forests that they were filming in. That's where they were. Actually, it was so pretty.
Matthew, it's actually in your backyard that they were.
It might. Well, British Columbia is very beautiful. But if you're looking around in BC, that's Stargate. It's every Stargate they ever walk through is a forest somewhere in BC. That's where.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I guess then it would now bring us time to spin a wheel. A wheel of agony. Ba-da-dum. All right.
Is that from the VHS where he's like experience beige?
Yes, that is exactly that. Yeah. You will experience beige. Yeah. We love it.
I love the fact that Lower Decks referenced that at one point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good. So good.
I didn't get it at first. I was like, what's beige? That's from the VHS game. Oh my gosh.
That's a cool game.
So as you know, we lost an episode because the sanctuary was spun. So therefore we get the pick of Jason, the pick of destiny. So
you don't want me to do that.
Yeah, I do. That's why I put it there. All right.
Okay. Your funeral.
Yeah. So our patrons have Holly Mack, Hollow Pursuits, which I haven't seen in so long. I'd really like to go back and watch that. So I'm hoping that's what we land on today. And Joseph Burrito has Magic to make the
sanest man go mad.
Sanest man go mad. Yeah, there we go. Heart Angle and Reed. We also have Fury. It's apparently one of the worst ones. Of course, The Lonely Among Us. Not a fan of that one. Silent
Joe,
Enemy.
I almost canceled my appearance when I saw you had Inner Light on here. I was like, what?
So
what's that all
it's
about?
not me. It's him.
What is that all about?
That Joker up there.
Oh my god. All right. I don't like to be bored in an episode. That one was so boring. It was so hard for me to watch.
You have to experience a whole civilization.
I don't need to experience it. The whole series is experiencing.
It's so whole,some. It's such a wholesome. I mean, you're allowed. You're allowed. It's fine.
It's like in the dirt. It's like we spent the time in the dirt, the trees, the leaves. It's like, oh god. And he plays.
I'm gonna send you a Resican flute.
Oh my god, that's what I was thinking. It's like he's always playing with his flute. That's the one he plays with his flute the whole episode. It's like, oh god, it's like, come on, man, enough Picard playing with his flute. Don't like that episode. Even Sean Ferrick said this is not as good an episode as everybody thinks, and I'm like, that's right. Thank you, Sean.
All right.
Sean Ferrick says so. It's okay for people to agree with me.
That it's allowed.
You know I love you, and you know I love Sean, but you're both wrong. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're right. They're totally right. Thank you, Sean.
I want it to land there just so you.
No, I really don't want to watch that episode. That's such a hard episode for me to watch.
I want you to suffer.
Oh my god!
Suffer with the quality.
And
I don't think I've seen it since it originally aired. So
wow, it's one of the episodes I raced to tape on VHS when I saw it on.
Wow!
Make sure I had it in the first 5 minutes. We made that so. That just happened.
Oh my god! The internet. Picard plays his flute for an hour. Z. That's my synopsis, and that's the truth.
That's karma. That's karma for your bad taste.
That is.
Thanks, Agony Booth. I can't believe I gotta watch that one again. Well, thanks for joining us in Agony. My friend, we had the distinct pleasure of meeting in. Oh wait, I have to play the bumper first. Hold on.
We were just talking about you. Everybody hates you. Congratulations.
She's talking about the Inner Light. All right, Matthew, my friend, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell everybody about your wonderful podcast and what you're doing on Trekkivism.
Yeah, so Trekkivism is a podcast that explores stories from both fans, but also some celebrities, about how they are doing real world social change work that may have been inspired by their work in Star Trek or by Star Trek itself. So we've talked to scientists that are doing research because they're inspired by Star Trek. One of our guests was a human rights lawyer who was inspired by Star Trek to go into law. Some of the actors that are doing charity work. Most recently, we started having more conversations about how Star Trek inspires us or provides precedents for us to have really difficult conversations, maybe around politics. I'm wearing my my Shax says fighting fascism is a full-time job t-shirt, and having more conversations and being bold enough to have about some of the politics that's going on right now in the world too. So it's myself and my co-host Heather Ray Barker. And so you can find us at trektivism.org. We have a list there of the different organizations and causes we've had featured on the podcast and the episodes themselves. So if that's something that inspires you, if you want to make that future that we see in Star Trek a little bit closer to the present, then we have some things that might be of interest to you.
There you go. Fantastic. I love it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here. Get his moment.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Because I like when people are I like when people are activists. I got involved in politics, ironically, in 2008 because my town was going through something weird and this shift was happening. And there was a lot of corruption. So I got involved and I helped and I managed to get some things done. And I was very excited about that.
That's awesome.
I lost my re-election by 2 votes. That guy.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So everyone knew that you hated the inner light.
It was you. No, it was Jean-Luc. I'm going to play my flute. Nobody will want to vote for you because I'm behind you playing the flute. So 2 votes. So when people say no, voting doesn't matter. No, it matters. Every vote counts. I literally lost by 2 votes.
Yeah, and also it goes to show, and sometimes the lower, the municipal level politics and the smaller scale politics people think isn't important, but it's really, really important, right?
Yeah.
People also running for park boards and school boards and municipal elections, that's the stuff where our real life actually happens, right? So that's
the most important election since I've been in politics. I was a district delegate and a representative alternative. Is if at the time, Elliot Spitzer, instead of Wooden, was replaced by the other guy. I can't remember his name. If that guy would have choked and then 6 other people would have choked, then I would have been the alternate and I could have been governor of New York. So, it's really important. I had a long line, but I was on the line,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you really pay attention to local government, the most important thing that you could do is get involved in school board, because in America, that's 80% of your tax bill. They have more say. When you guys get mad about, oh my God, my taxes are so high, my taxes. You want to do something about those taxes? Get involved in your school board. One of the things that we were able to do, and I'm going to go on my soapbox and I'll be off shortly, but one of the things, one of the things we were able to do was when I got involved is I got together with the neighborhood associations and we found a couple of people that spoke with the district manager, AKA of business, and the superintendent, and said, hey, we're right on the border of one of the largest cities in New York State. Why don't we just make sure everybody comes in with a utility bill to prove where they're coming from? And when we did that, they ended up purging 600 students one year because they were coming into the district from somewhere else, which is kind of illegal. And we purged 1,000 students the year after. Ended up saving the city from raising the taxes for 2 years in a row. So that's how important voting is. If we didn't have that school board and those people that chose the superintendent to actually listens to the people and said, well, that's a great idea. Let me check where people are coming from. Hey, you're not in our district. You're from the south of the Bronx. You shouldn't be here.
Right.
Saves huge money because every child is a $26 or $23,000 ticket that causes a tax leave on all of the residents. So if you want to complain about your taxes, get involved locally. That's where it matters. So I'm going to come off my soapbox, but the activism is super important because it affects you every day. Okay.
And of course, so is education, which is constantly under attack these days. So, and how important it is to make sure that everyone has access to good education. And what happens to how does democracy function when you don't have an informed electorate and one that understands how civic society works, how science and technology works? We have a society that's completely undergirded by science and technology, and a lot of us don't know how science and technology even works. So how do we function as a society that way? So,
Exactly. Well said. All right. Well, let's say hello to our folks in the chat really quick. Chris, hello, what's up, man? And he's saying hello. There's some hellos going on, which is fantastic. Oh, we got a grandbaby walking. Congrats, Leticia. Very happy about that. That's awesome.
He's walking over here to kick you in the butt for hating the inner light.
No, the baby probably fell
Even
asleep
the
watching the
baby
inner
knows
light.
better.
The baby was like, "This is boring. I'm out. I'm checking out. Change my diaper." Hello, it's the OTC has arrived back at the CQ. Good to see you again, Damon J. Damon J was actually he's a fellow Canadian, and he has the distinct honor of being in Strange New Worlds and Section 31. So
cool.
Yeah, very cool on him. It's interesting that you're reviewing this episode today. It's from My Figure Universe. I didn't realize that this was the episode, but I was thinking about this one earlier. Oh, cool. Yeah. OTC Roman is here. Okay. And so just like he said, he's in Section 31 and he's going to be in SFA, which is pretty dang awesome. Going to be Starfleet Academy. So looking forward to looking for him in that episode. Oh, the hot guy with the pike care. I know you. Nice. Our good friend Karen McLeod said, I keep thinking that the cat was going to turn into something or have special powers because the book always called her a queen. Look at that. Talk about Kismet. Following you shortly. Okay.
That was a dig at your height, by the way.
Yeah, probably. Oh, she knows me. I'm taller than her, so at least I got that going on. I just started following Trektivism too. I never.
Thank you.
There you go. Heard of that pod.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward
thank you
to
so
checking it
much.
out. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Whole point of networking. My Figure Universe, I met the actor, but them too. Oh, I was gonna get 2 people that'll follow you. Great. Kenneth Mitchell was a true highlight. Oh,
Absolutely.
Kenneth was in this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Was he in this episode?
Yeah, I don't remember him being in this episode. My Figure Universe, if you're still there, I don't remember.
Kenneth Mitchell was great that season, and it was wonderful that the Discovery crew went to the extra lengths to make sure that he could stay part of the Trek family, and I think that was very heartwarming of them to do.
Oh, this wasn't
this episode, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, but wasn't he the guy that he was in a wheelchair at that point?
He was in a wheelchair, and after he passed away, they named a starship after him.
Oh, there you go. Grudge is a queen.
No, Patrick Kwok-Chun, who plays Reese on the bridge, he was on one of our Trektivism panels because he was also at ThunderCon, the convention in my hometown of Ontario. But one of the things he mentioned, I think about this, is that when Discovery began, they got all the cast together and they said, listen, before we start shooting, we want you to all know what the core values of the Federation are, because we want that to play a part not only in how you play your characters, but also how we treat each other on set. And I was like, that is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That we're going to make that a culture of part of the culture of the show. And I think about that when they're, even the actors still get together and they hang out so much with each other and everything else. And you're like, I bet you that's part of it. It's part of the experience and how they end up treating one another too.
I agree. I remember Michael Chan had said that to us. He played the young lieutenant that was running around for Ardette Fair when they were being attacked, I think in the next season, the 4th season. So I totally get what that comment was about. And it's so nice that they're doing that, because a lot of shows just now, all right, read your script, get out. There's too much, corporate base. But to hear like stories like that and know that, okay, now that I've heard this story again, this is absolutely what was going on. That's awesome, because that's what we need. We need that care and that extra piece on the shows, because it's a reflection of what the dream really was, and that's for infinite diversity. So ironically, my wife was eating Oreos with milk. Nice Oreos. It was
Ask her what the best part of the Oreo is. You already know what she's gonna say.
She's gonna say the cookie, wonderful crispy cookie outside. Karen Cloud said Beetlejuice worms. Careful, don't say that 2 more times. Ohana, yes, family. Fun fact about Stargate: in Ashland, Ohio, a gentleman and his son built a Stargate, full-size replica, and it's pretty darn awesome. Wow.
Does it work?
I hope. Maybe.
No, unless it works, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry.
That's just no fury. No, even worse, inner light.
No whammies, stop.
I can't believe I'm gonna watch that again. That was always one of the most lovable things about, oh yes, Paramount Plus. Skip, I don't have to. All right, Chris says, I wonder where we land. We landed on Doom. Joe is the only person on the planet that hates that episode. Not true. Not true at all. I agree with Jason. I will gladly watch that 6 times for preparation of this episode. Thank you. Appreciate it. Dre Day, hello. Nice to see you. Please become a subscriber unless you're joining us for the first time. You're going to have a lot of fun. And this is the Agony Booth, where one of the hosts hates Inner Light because it's boring. I just gave you a follow. Oh, great. So you got that. Karen McLeod says, I work for a nonprofit that helps adults with intellectual disabilities, and you need type of topic if you need that type of topic. Oh,
yeah, I mean, totally. We're always looking for new stories to tell. Karen, send us an email, info@trektivism.org. It'll reach both Heather and I.
There you go. What did the wheel land on? Unfortunately, the wheel landed on the worst episode of all Star Trek, Inner Light. You probably lost those 2 votes because you told me like, oh my God, really?
There you go.
Inner Light is boring, guys. It's okay.
You're boring.
When you watch that episode again, you're gonna be like, maybe you're right, Joe. Maybe you're right.
No.
You could have been presented by now if you liked the internet. I could have been president by now if I liked the internet.
You screwed the entire country, Joe.
I did not.
Screwed the entire country.
I did not. Imagine if I won and then I ran for city council and then ultimately governor of New York because I like the Inner Light. There's a whole paradox there. The Inner Light shouldn't be on the Agony Wheel. Well, says you.
They could call it Flute Gate.
Flute Gate. Yeah. You're absolutely does not belong on the Wheel of Agony. So the Wheel of Agony is at this point based on the perception of the individual now, because to me, don't like that one. But you guys might like some ones that other people don't like. And I don't think Hollow Pursuits is a bad episode, but it's been so long since I've seen it. Maybe it is a bad episode. So it's a perception thing.
Barkley
and I'm very looking forward to
and kicked out of Starfleet.
I'm looking forward to when Johannes gives us our next episode to fill that
he
one.
Wasn't just laying there and letting Deanna stroke his hair. You know that was not the only thing he did with those holograms.
Oh, jeez.
Wesley was there too. Just puts up more work.
It just adds a little twang on it. Mm-hmm. I think the only one in agony in that was Joe. That is true. Me and Sean Ferrick. Sean Ferrick's
look forward to watching you suffer.
He has stated he hasn't seen it since it first aired. It's true, and I'm going to be suffering all over again. He's talking politics. Let's just go ahead and have a conversation in the chat. This is like early 1990s MTV. You want to talk about rock the vote? Yeah, he said vote, but that's okay. We're supposed to say rock the vote. Yeah, see, I told you. The Inner Light is a masterpiece. God, you know, this guy is part of the Captains Quadrant. He's coming out just to dig me. Seriously. Lowbrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. You're such an easy target right now.
No, it's
you invited me, so it would be impolite not to accept it.
It's going to be a sleep booth. I'm just going to go to sleep. You know. And the time that you took to sail this, Joe, I learned how to play flute. It's about me and my.
I will say though, the Inner Light has one of my greatest, my favorite continuity errors in it, and I'm not going to say anything about it until next week.
That's a flute.
But there's a continuity error that once you see it, you will never unsee it.
It's a recorder, and then it goes to a different flute.
No. It has to
chain of command. All right, maybe we'll put one on there. That's a good one. I haven't seen that in a long time. I cannot stand Jellicoe. Oh, Jellicoe was right a lot of the time.
Jellicoe was right. Everything he did was right. Will was an immature brat.
All right, so Talking Tubi will be coming on to join us to talk about the Inner Light. Is this going to be a Pile on Joe episode? I don't think I.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm sorry, you bring this on yourself.
I don't. When you guys rewatch it and you go, "Oh, this was slow," I'm going to be
and Captain Picard
I like Jellicoe.
kept
He was
the
a good
4-shift rotation as well. So even Picard thought that Jellicoe was right.
Oh wow!
And Jellicoe made Admiral. So there you go.
We had to review it recently on the 7th Rule, and it was so hard to say nice things at times. Wow. He ran a mean ship, and he was right. That's talking about Jellicoe. Right. But after listening to the others' take on it, it did help me change my opinion some. And I'm sure that was about Jellicoe. He's probably like, Inner Light is also boring. Jellicoe was a good captain. You really look at this episode, it honestly was the Enterprise crew that was in the wrong with the bad attitude. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I think Riker's experience with Jellicoe made Riker a better leader.
It did, yes.
Yeah, for sure. He wasn't in this episode, but he was in a subsequent episode with the Emerald Chain. Okay. Sup, Joe? Sup, Dre? How you doing? A lot of issues with Riker and Jellicoe could have been avoided if they would have been Riker and the mission sooner. Oh, yeah, that's true. You're absolutely correct,
It's
Jace.
the captain's prerogative, though. He was informed to keep it quiet.
I'm looking to getting my Jellicoe figures so I can start a 4-shift rotation on other action figures.
Boy, can you imagine like Toy Story where all the toys like come to life and you got a Jellicoe action figure there?
Oh my god, you
That would
gotta
be
get them.
amazing. That'd be amazing.
Did I start looking for flights for Trek Long Island? I don't know. I know I can just drive there, so that's cool. It does spin, yes. It's not that boring. Oh, wait. Just wait. I'm glad I found Captains. We're glad you found us too. It's better than Seinfeld, that's for sure. It's a lot of great comedy here on the Captains Quadrant. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap up this episode. I know it went
Void Kitty.
Look, she looks like Joe watching The Inner Light.
That's true. That is 1,000% true. I'm gonna be sitting there like, man, this is gonna be, you know how you guys spent most of, oh, it's not here, that old man yells at Trek. That's how I'm gonna be next week. Yeah, and a lot of people are going, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm doing that right now.
All right, guys, thank you so much, Matthew, for joining us.
In case anybody's wondering, my son's football team is beating Van Horn 65-0.
Oh,
nice.
Wow, that's
well done.
Incredible.
Well
I know
done.
it's one of those, stop, they're already dead.
Yeah.
What sport is that?
I don't know. No, it's football.
It's American football.
American football, yes.
Which you guys don't have in Canada, which is a
We
shame.
have Canadian football.
They have Canadian football.
It's called soccer, right?
Yeah, we don't actually have Canadian bacon, but we do have Canadian football.
Wait, there's no Canadian bacon?
Why did we end up with the Canadian bacon then? That's weird.
I don't know.
What a
I
lie.
don't know. Yeah,
It's all
I'm sorry.
lies, especially the lies. All right, guys. Really, wait, wow, dude. I'm part of the show. I don't think it's better than Seinfeld, but show is our George Costanza. Serenity now. I don't think it was his dad, but whatever.
I don't know who I am, but I do not want to be the racist guy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Till next week. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt. I hope you had a good time hanging out.
I had so much fun. Thank you very much. If you ever want
Absolutely.
me back, I'm happy to join you in the booth.
Awesome. We'd appreciate it. Until next time, guys, have a great one. And, like, share, and subscribe, join the Patreon, all those fun things. And we will see you next time.